The Apple Watch Ultra has been stacked with some incredible features as Apple's premium watch. You may have probably heard of features such as the siren and emergency service, but have you heard of the feature that allows you to get 60 hours of battery on a single charge, monitor your wrist temperature while asleep, or even use your watch as a TV controller? Join us in this video as we walk you through the essential Apple Watch Ultra tips and tricks. Let's get right into it.
Here comes the truth.
Check wrist temperature. Let's start with a vital trick to help measure your wrist temperature while asleep. As always, Apple has found ways to incorporate premium health features on the watch. This particular one has been introduced on the Apple Watch and is available on the Apple Watch Series 8 as well. The feature allows you to configure your sleep patterns, allowing the watch to pick measurements and patterns to give you detailed feedback. It is also important to note that to get the detailed report, you would have to wear the watch for a minimum of 5 nights. According to Apple, the watch samples your temperature every 5 minutes using the sensors on the back crystal and the one near your skin. But how do we get started with the configuration? First, we would have to work on our sleep schedule, which will allow us to begin tracking our temperature. To set up a sleep schedule in the Health app on your iPhone, begin by opening the app. On the bottom right corner, tap on the Browse tab. Scroll down until you find the Sleep option. This will take you to the Sleep home screen. Here, you will find the option of Sleep Schedule. If the sleep schedule is off, toggle it on. By turning on the sleep schedule, you can set the time you want to go to bed and wake up, and the app will help you track your sleep patterns. Once this process has been followed, you can configure your sleep pattern and get it all set for the measurements. You can also use the process below to get detailed information once you have worn the watch for the recommended days. To view body temperature data in the Health app on your iPhone, open the app and tap the Browse icon in the bottom toolbar. Under Health categories, tap Body Measurements, look for Body Temperature, and tap on it. This will open a chart displaying the data recorded by your iPhone or your Sense device. To view more information about a specific point on the chart, tap on the point, and the app will show more details. Aside from using this feature to track your sleep and temperature, it can also be used with the cycle tracking feature for more insights into ovulation periods and predictions.
This is beautiful.
We will delve deeper into this feature and provide more details, so stay tuned. Low power mode. The next trick on our list is turning on the low power mode on your Apple Watch Ultra to extend battery life. Before this feature, the watch could last for about 36 hours, a great deal considering that the previous model could only last 18 hours. But with the low power mode, you can use your Apple Watch Ultra for about 60 hours on a single charge. So for about 2.5 days, you wouldn't even have to bother about your charger. This is undoubtedly good news.
Oh, yes!
But there is a caveat. When this feature is turned on, features such as heart rate notifications, background heart rate measurements, and blood oxygen measurements will be turned off. So now that we have that out of the way, here is how you can get the low power mode activated. First, open the Watch app on your iPhone to update the software on your Apple Watch. In the bottom toolbar, tap My Watch. On the next screen, tap General, and then tap Software Update. Wait for the update, and then tap the Download and Install button. The process may take a while, so please be patient while installing the update. Once it's complete, your Apple Watch will run the latest software version. On most occasions, the process will run smoothly, but you should stay close to your phone in case the unlikely happens. Again, it is advisable to have your watch at least 50% charged and connected to a power source.
Really?
Oh, really?
Cycle tracking. Earlier in the video, we mentioned the tracking cycle feature that helps monitor ovulation and the menstrual cycle. Apple has introduced this feature to allow people to enter their menstrual details and receive predictions on fertility windows and their subsequent menstruation periods. Apple says, if you wear your Apple Watch Ultra to sleep each night, the app can use wrist temperature to improve period predictions and provide retrospective ovulation estimates. This makes it easier for people to monitor their menstrual cycle without calculating and guessing it every month.
Oh, great! I love this! Wow.
Following the process below, you can have the Apple Watch do all the hard work. The user must first open the Health app to access the feature for tracking menstrual cycles. Once the app is open, the user should tap on the Browse icon in the bottom toolbar. Under the Health category section, the user should tap Body Measurements. From there, the user can select the option for cycle tracking. Upon selecting this option, the user will be prompted to tap on the Get Started button. Following the Get Started button, the user will be presented with a series of on-screen steps to set notifications and other options related to their menstrual cycle tracking. These steps include setting reminders for upcoming periods, tracking symptoms, and more. Once these options are set, the user can begin tracking their menstrual cycles in the Health app. It is important to note that once this process is complete, you will be provided with a dedicated app on both your iPhone and the Apple Watch Ultra for access, monitoring, and regular updates. Speaking of regular updates, you wouldn't miss any of our juicy content on Apple products in 2023, as we have some valuable insight coming up. So hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications before it's too late. Create and display compass waypoints. The Compass Waypoints feature simply allows viewers to take notice of specific locations while they are outdoors. For example, it can be helpful when you need a reminder of where you parked a car or to mark exciting spots when you are touring a city. In fact, a related feature called the Backtrack allows you to trace your steps, and we will provide more details shortly. In order to use the Compass Waypoints, open the app to create a waypoint on your Apple Watch Ultra using the Compass app. Next, tap the waypoint icon, a bubble with an arrow in the screen's bottom left corner. A new screen will appear where you can enter the information for your waypoint, including a label, change the color, or add a symbol. Once you have entered the desired information, tap the Done button to save the waypoint. Once the Compass waypoint has been set, there are two ways in which you can view it. There is the option of viewing it from your Compass app or the bottom screen of your map. Use Apple Watch Ultra as remote. Next, let us look at how you can quickly set up your Apple Watch Ultra to serve as a remote for your Apple TV. This can be useful when you have misplaced or damaged your Apple TV remote.
Oh, thank God.
So how do we get started? To configure our Apple Watch Ultra to serve as a remote, we first need to ensure that it is paired to the TV. If that is not the case, we can use the process below to complete the pairing. 1. Open the Remote app on your Apple Watch Ultra. 2. Tap your Apple TV. If you don't see it listed, tap Add Device. 3. On the Apple TV, go to Settings, Remotes and Devices, Remote App and Devices, then select Apple Watch. 4. Enter the passcode displayed on your Apple Watch Ultra. 5. When the pairing icon appears next to the Apple Watch, it's ready to control the Apple TV. You can then control the TV by 1. Open the Remote app on your Apple Watch Ultra. 2. Choose your Apple TV, then swipe up, down, left, or right to move through the Apple TV menu options. 3. Tap to choose the selected item. 4. Tap the Play/Pause button to pause or resume playback. 5. Tap the menu button to go back, or touch and hold it to return to the main menu. Retrace your steps. To use the Backtrack feature on an Apple Watch Ultra, open the Compass app and tap the Steps icon in the bottom right corner. Start recording your route, then tap the Pause button when you're ready to use Backtrack. Tap the Retrace Steps button and follow the path back to the original location. Once you've reached it, tap the Steps icon again and select the Delete Steps button to clear your recorded route. Now that you have some tips and tricks under your belt, you can follow them up with some deeper insights on the Apple Watch Ultra. There are some 3 facts that Apple wouldn't want you to know, but we have uncovered them in our next video, so make sure to check it out.